Hello and welcome to your weekly in-depth horoscope for week commencing the 3rd of February for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. This week begins with Mercury gliding into the sign of Pisces, the 12th sign of the Zodiac, and one which is very much to do with introspection. Mercury, of course, is to do with communication, but in this particular sector, it is in essence in detriment. So it's not its best transit, and this can lead to some sluggish communication, not unlike a retrograde, which ironically is going to start to happen later this month. So we need to work at our communications. But actually, Mercury does forge a beautiful link with Uranus this week. So if there is a hunch that we get, which comes from Pisces, and it is about our resources, it's possible, especially if it's something new or different or fresh, that it could work out splendidly well. Now, Neptune and Jupiter are the two rulers of the sign of Pisces, and they're collaborating beautifully this week. So if we can find ways to connect with people in a more sensory way, use a degree of intuition, I do feel it's possible that this can be good even in business scenarios too. Now, Venus also starts this week in the sign of Pisces, so there's a lot of energy in this sign. But by the end of the week, by Friday, Venus moves into the sign of Aries, where technically it's in full, so another not necessarily best location. But actually, Venus in Aries, I think, can be really quite sparkling and effervescent. It gives us the push to take the initiative around our relationships, especially if we're single, and also it embraces the energy of the wounded healer Chiron almost immediately. So if there is a relationship which is suffering a little bit, I do feel this and the full moon, which occurs on Sunday, is an ideal opportunity to try to get things working more sweetly. Now, whether this is in a romantic scenario or friendship or with a colleague, it doesn't really matter. You can use this full moon to your advantage. The key here is the Leo full moon is very much about balancing what we need to do for ourselves as individuals and also what's good for the collective, which comes from the energy of Aquarius. And that energy is also jarred right through this week by the quarter moon, which occurred right at the end of last week and provides a backdrop for the whole of this one. So I think we could find ourselves in a situation where our values, whether it's around our outlook to life or more about physical, financial approaches, may be an area where we experience some kind of pinch point with another person. But the full moon can tease all of this out into the open, and with Venus moving into this area, that's really saying to us, look, try to find solutions by taking the initiative. Your specific forecast, Aquarius, shows the Sun in your sign linking brilliantly with Jupiter in the first half of this week. I've kept saying it for a while, but all that hard work you've been investing, it is going to bring you a return, and this particular influence will be mightily helpful. Also, Jupiter and Neptune are forging a link. Neptune's in your sector of everyday resources, and since 2012, you may have found that you've been particularly generous when it comes to good causes, but it may have been a bit more difficult to be hard-headed and practical about everyday financial management. This angle suggests that approaching something in a very spiritual way can actually attract goodnesses to you. So, yeah, up the vibration if you do want to improve your lot. But also on Monday, Mercury moves into the sign of Pisces. It is in detriment here, technically, but it also immediately forges a great link with Uranus. Your ability to think on your feet and to think outside the box is something that can really mark you out. You have a consistent attitude to being open-minded, trying different techniques. And again, if you're wanting to improve your situation, whether it's in terms of how you value yourself or in terms of your financial attraction of resources, I think being much more innovative taken the less beaten track in terms of the pathway you choose, can all be very positive. Now, Venus is going to be moving into a glorious location for you on Friday. True, like Mercury into Pisces, it is going into detriment in Aries. But for you, I just think it's going to give you more confidence around your ideas. You can sparkle over the next 28 days, and particularly almost immediately when something that's been a bit of a sore point to you, you can communicate with a lot more clarity and warmth that can attract goodness back to you almost immediately. The full moon, which occurs on Sunday, however, does suggest that there could be somebody close to you who thinks that you've been way too single-minded of late and been very focused on the things that are important to you, the individual. Well, you know, sometimes in life we do have to be single-minded if we want to grab the prize. But if something is seriously out of kilter, then do listen up, because perhaps someone has been feeling a bit left out or neglected. But equally, with the full moon being in your sector of relating, perhaps if you're single, it's about rejuvenating your approach or how you feel about yourself again, because that big stellium of energy that's occurred in Capricorn and has been building up for some time has really tested the sense of the psychological strength of most water carriers. So it's a good time to be shoring up defences, feeling good about the things you do well, and also trying to reach out to like-minded people. So that's what this full moon can really be very useful for. It's been a real pleasure being with you. If you'd like to elevate your knowledge above your zodiac sign and embrace serious astrology, please see the link beneath this video. You can order your 12-month forecast and character analysis based on your time, date and place of birth and get 30% off. Or you can choose to have a one-to-one consultation with me. But for now, good luck and goodbye.